Can Claude create Rocket League? That's a question I asked myself after Fable 5 was made available for the public again, and I wanted to try that out. And to test the limits of letting Claude do it alone, I'm going to play Rocket League while Claude creates Rocket League 2, and at the end of this video I'm going to 1v1 my tournament partner in the new Rocket League made by Claude. So the first step was to plan out the game. Fortunately, Rocket League is already a thought-through concept. It's a finished game, so I just told Fable to use Rocket League to create a one-shot prompt. I can then pass to Claude Code, so Claude Code will then program out the whole game. And after that, I received a whole document, as always, including the game design document, all the mechanics, how Claude should do it, and all of that was packed into a prompt I can then pass to Claude Code. But before I do any of that, I'm going to have to create an Unreal project, because as you may know, Rocket League was created in the Unreal Engine and I'm an Unreal Engine developer, so I will do that as well. And in the latest Unreal version, MCP servers were implemented, which means Claude can now even access some editor tools, which allows it to make even better games. But it was almost 5 PM, so we had to queue up for the tournament in Rocket League while I'm creating the project. So as you can see, after the first round of the tournament, which we won, the project was finally created. So I can now open the plugins and enable the MCP servers I talked about and close the project again. And I noticed another problem. I was already vibe coding a lot this day, so my tokens were kinda used up at that moment, but we'll give it a try. We'll try. So once the project was open again, the MCP servers were enabled, the prompt from Claude was done, so I now opened up Claude Code in the project repository and pasted in the prompt, and then Fable got to work, so I got to play another round of the tournament. Unfortunately, we took an L, we were ejected from the tournament and my credits are used up, so we now have to wait until 9 PM so my credits are resetted and we can attend the other tournament. See you in a minute. So back at it, Claude is running in the background and we are in the tournament. Somehow my recordings got wrecked, so I can't really show you much from the tournament, but that's not the focus, so it doesn't matter. But what matters is that after the second round, Claude started the Unreal Engine in the testing mode and I was able to play the game a little bit. It was very buggy, but there were 2 cars and a ball in the arena. You already had boost, you could jump around. The handling was not very optimized, but it's going in the direction of Rocket League and Claude is still going, so I think some things will be fixed. And after that, I'm going to test it out and then create a second prompt to fix all the bugs to push it even more in the direction of Rocket League. So here's how the first real test went after Claude finished its first run. You can drive around the map, you can kick the ball around, it actually feels not that bad. But once you enter the air, the handling is very bad, you're just flying around the map. And the car looks a little bit too big. Because if you compare to Rocket League, the car in Rocket League is almost as big as the ball. And in my game, the car is way bigger than the ball. Which probably contributes to the handling not feeling normal, because I'm obviously used to Rocket League. So what I did, I went on an iterative fixing spree. I just tested and then gave the information to Claude which things are not feeling right, what Claude has to fix, and I just iterated. And after some time and a lot of credits, the game looked alright, I would say, and most importantly it felt alright. Obviously it did not feel as good as the normal Rocket League, which makes sense, but it felt okay. I told Claude to make the flips feel more normal like Rocket League, so Claude implemented some mechanisms to make them more guided so you don't overflip all the time. And I also told Claude to make the air control less sensitive, so you can now, once you enter the air, you can actually control where you fly if you have enough boost. And yeah, it felt okay. So once that was done, I wanted to implement a ball camera, because at the moment we just have the normal front camera. So I told Claude to do that, and the ball camera was a little bit buggy, but I was not really bothering to fix it any further because the game will be not released. So it was enough, and in addition to that I told Claude to implement some settings, like camera settings, the graphic settings. So that concludes the first phase of development. Now comes multiplayer. For the multiplayer setup, I'm going to use Steam. I just told Claude to export the multiplayer setup from another project I've created into the Rocket League 2 project, and Claude did that perfectly, no problems. But I then tested around and I noticed that the game is unplayable basically, because as a client you do not have authority on the ball, on your own car, on anything. So you can't drive as fast as the host because the physics simulation is slower. You can't hit the ball because the ball is just stronger than you and it will push you away, and it felt awful. I then spent one whole evening on prompting with Claude to fix it using a puppet system like Rocket League, but it did not work, which makes sense because that's kinda the unique selling point Rocket League has, that Rocket League fixed that physics multiplayer problem, and it always feels like you actually control the ball and not the server. So I just left it as it is. I accepted it because I'm not going to spend any more credits or any more time on that when I know I'm not releasing the game. The option I saw was to just turn the game into a split-screen local co-op game and take my laptop and just drive to my friend to test it. And that's exactly what I did.
Let's get into it. The second day of the Rocket League World Championship for 2025 starts right now.
Any follow-up. Where's he gonna go? It's Catalysm. What? Let's reset. Catalysm! Oh! To get the touch. Catalysm trying to come in to help out. Well, have a bit more in store. Banana with a double. Banana! Right on the right at Gazi. Pushed it through. Seriously, area. Trying to be patient. First killer back to LJ. Coming off the wall. The first killer. Back pass. The shot. Wow! Ultimate. What a passing play. Can get caught in. Nasto. Wait, there's no way. There's no way. Ball shot it in. NIP take the lead. Speed. As he arrived. Save away.
Relax our face. Was not the moment that they've
And that concludes this video. The game is playable. It's obviously not fun for more than one round, but it was a fun experience. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, leave a like, subscribe, and see you in the next one. Bye.